let's talk about week 3 in the biblical parenting coaching program, because it's here where we have now 3 tools that we're able to work with. The first tool is the instruction routine. I can't tell you how important that is, because children who have emotional challenges learn to let it go when they're practice coming when called. Children who have a problem with integrity learn how to the sense of obligation when they go through the cycle of remembering to give an answer back and report back when they're done, when parents inspect their work to make sure that it's done to a certain quality. That's where integrity, if a child is learned, if a child has a problem with lying, it's learned, starts in the instruction routine. So the Getting Things Done Department of Family Life is strategic for bringing about change in children. Don't miss that. Continue working from compliance to cooperation to contribution. Those are the 3 areas we're working on in the Getting Things Done department. That's cycle number 1. Cycle number 2 is when a child's off track, and this could be off track because they've lied, or because usually they're emotional. Sometimes it's because they're being disrespectful, or because they are just not focusing properly, and they need to get back on track. So there's a process for that. God calls that process repentance. We're going to take that and look at it in some practical ways, by looking at the break and the positive conclusion and trying again. So this week you learn about the positive conclusion, which has 3 questions and a statement. What did you do wrong? Has to do with confession. Why was that wrong? Moves it down to the heart and talks about the heart quality. What are you going to do differently next time? Helps a child imagine and think through, and even role play in their mind what they're going to do next time. Very important part of repentance. And then this freedom that, okay, go ahead and try again, that children need. So be thinking about those pieces as you go through. This complete cycle of repentance, or when a child's off track, looks like this. We're going this way trying to get something done. That's great. But when a child is off track, we stop and we start going the other direction. We're on a detour. That detour first requires that we settle down. That's the purpose of the break, to settle down, recenter your heart, get to where it needs to be. Then we come back in and we answer the questions. What did you do wrong? And so on, because that's confession, and that's taking us through a cognitive process of thinking through what we did and how we need to change. Then it's the release. Okay, you're free to go, which allows a person to experience personal forgiveness, forgive themselves, to experience the forgiveness of the parent, and experience forgiveness from God, essentially. And then they're off and running. But then we also go back then to practicing doing the right thing. So if Billy was disrespectful when mom said no more snack, Billy makes a comment, and mom might say, hey, look, can you change on your own, or do you need a break? And he's disrespectful again. Okay, you need to go take a break. Well, while he's settling down in the break, he's changing his heart. And so he comes back and he says, okay, I'm ready. We go through the process. What did you do wrong? Why was that wrong? What are you going to do differently next time? Okay, you're free to go, except we need to practice doing the right thing. Why don't you go stand over there and ask me for a snack, and I'm going to say no again, and let's see if you can respond the right way. So practicing doing the right way, the right thing, is strategic for children who are embedded in wrong responses. We want to make sure we go through the complete cycle before we take children back into the cycle of getting things done. So we don't pretend we're getting things done if the child's doing the wrong thing. We move to a different cycle. Those 2 different cycles of parenting, and children need to understand that, what's going on in their hearts, and have the tools for that. Parents need to understand, because you parent differently in cycle 1 than you do in cycle 2. So that's what you're working on right now. When you have those tools in place, you've got the instruction routine working well. We've got a good working relationship using relationship visioning and firmness. When we have worked on the break, which uses another tool, which is transferring responsibility to a child, and we have the positive conclusion, which is doing some teaching and training in this area, and we have this go and practice again, which is, again, the training part of the coaching part of what we're doing. We're starting to embrace all these different tools into the program. So as you do, you are going to see, you're going to have what you need in order to enter into whatever stronghold we're experiencing. If the child has some deep anger issues, or deep disrespect, or we're dealing with anxiety, or the child has some self-concept issues, we now have the tools necessary to move forward. Next week, I'm going to talk to you more about how to do that. You'll see that in the videos and so on next week. So be watching for that. That's all part of the training, but try to stick with the program and get through these first tools, because if you jump too far ahead, then the child isn't going to have the tools to deal with the things that they need to deal with. So try to work through the program the way it's laid out here, and I think you'll experience the maximum benefit. If you're struggling in an area, you probably need to talk to me. I also would like to meet with your client while you listen, if that's appropriate in your situation, because it gives you an added level of experience as you hear me work with your parent and talk about the same things that you're doing. So if I can help you in that, please let me know. I'd be happy to do that as well. I am teaching a live parenting seminar on Monday that you're welcome to join and share with anybody that you can. Look for the information on that. It's online and it's being broadcast through Zoom, and you need a link to get to it. And so in order to get that, you need to register. And you can register by going to biblicalparenting.org. And at the top, there's a banner describing the seminar. Click on that. It'll link you to the place where you can get signed up for this. So I trust that you're doing well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and we'll be happy to move you forward with it. Thank you very much.